In this special episode of 007 Agent Under Fire Secrets, we're going to be looking at 4 out-of-bounds areas that are quite unique and interesting, and that I haven't showcased in any other videos previously. So first, here in the first level, Trouble in Paradise, we're going to do a grenade jump onto this area of the building. Of course, grenade jumping is exclusive to the Gamecube version, and you also want to have the golden health and golden grenades unlocked to make this possible. So once we're up here on the building, we're going to continue along until we get to these gaps in the structure. We're going to jump over the first 3 gaps and then fall down into the 4th gap, landing on this kind of grassy square looking thing. And we're actually inside the building now. Cool, right? It's very hollow. And we're going to drop down again carefully, not losing too much health, through this slit until we get down to the ocean floor itself. And so this gives us a very unique perspective on this giant structure. It really gets the scale across to you when standing next to these giant legs and then being able to see how big this building actually is from out here. Next up, we're going to Bad Diplomacy. Now, normally when you complete this level, you get a brief glimpse of the outside area of the embassy. But with the help of a moon jump code and a Noclip code, we can actually clip out of bounds and carefully maneuver our way around to the outside of the door without triggering the objective of us leaving the building. And these codes I will leave in the description of the video if you want to try this yourself. So now we're outside here in the embassy courtyard area, and you can see how big this area actually is. Even though they only needed it to be a certain size for us to get that one perspective glimpse, they really have a lot of geometry out here. And that makes sense because it basically looks like a chopped down version of the first area of Night of the Jackal, which shares this exact same location. And so yeah, you can just kind of walk around out here. You can actually go into some of these little alleys and tunnels and just mess around. And it's just surprising how much is actually out here. Moving on to the end of Mediterranean Crisis. This is the area where we shoot down the helicopter at the end, completing the final objective. So you want to just jump on this turret, shoot the helicopter until you destroy it. And then we're going to turn the turret around, and you'll see I point it at a specific part of the railing here in the distance. I hold down on the movement stick and press the action button. And this will actually clip you through the railing behind you, landing you on the carrier deck below. And there's a lot to explore down here. You can go inside the little hangar where the jets supposedly came from. You can go over here and mess around on the turret that you normally don't have access to, and you can cause Zoe and maybe any remaining enemies that you can see a little bit of grief and destroy some of the glass windows up on the carrier. You can also, of course, explore the very long carrier runway. You can go all the way to the end and see how big this carrier actually is. I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't about a 1-to-1 scale to a real-life aircraft carrier. And finally, and probably most interestingly, we're going to be looking at the end of Poseidon, where we're going to use the moon jump code to cross the room over to this inaccessible area where the enemies typically stand and shoot at you. We're going to continue down this little hall, and we're going to use the Noclip code to head into the submarine room that we see in the cutscene at the very end of the level. Now, normally you don't have any control in this room. You just get kind of a camera perspective of a couple of events happening with you and Zoe. But here on foot, we can really explore the room to its fullest. And really interestingly, there are extra rooms down this hallway, and there's no reason for them to be here at all because the camera doesn't go anywhere near this hall. So we can see there's little cabin rooms back here and maybe a little storage area. And of course, this makes sense because this game was originally The World Is Not Enough for the PC, but it was canceled and refocused into Agent Under Fire. And if we look at these old beta images of World Is Not Enough PC, you can see how much was reused here. Now, this is a fun little thing you can do as a result of being able to get into this room before triggering the end cutscene. I created a little image there on the glass window, and then as we trigger the cutscene, we're both quite surprised to see that someone has been here before us, huh? And I don't think Bond is very impressed.